A warm welcome I bid to all my listeners. My name is KANAGA and I'm from G.SEVARAJ. I'm a first year medical student in the Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences of University Malaysia Sabah. So today I will be talking about gastroenterology as my chosen specialty and I'll be discussing about large intestine mainly. I would like to thank Prof. Dr. Zainal, our SSM advisor, for guiding us. So, gastroenterology is the medical specialty that focuses on the study, diagnosis, and treatment of conditions related to the digestive tract and its organs. It includes biliary ducts, colon, esophagus, gallbladder, large intestine, liver, pancreas, rectum and anus, small intestine, and the stomach. Gastroenterologists are the physicians. They are the one who specialize in the study, diagnosis, and surgical treatment of conditions and gastrointestinal tract, but they do not perform any surgeries like rectal surgeons. Moving on, I will be discussing about anatomy of large intestine. Large intestine is the terminal part of the alimentary canal and its function to finish absorption of nutrients, water, and synthesize certain vitamins form feces, and eliminate feces from the body. So, for the structure of the large intestine, it runs from the appendix to the anus, frames the small intestine on three sides, and is about half as long as the small intestine, and it also more than twice the diameter of the small intestine, which is around about 3 inches. Subdivisions of of the large intestine. It is divided into four main regions: the cecum, colon, rectum and the anus, the ileocecal-shaped valve, and it's located at the opening between the ileum and the large intestine. It controls the flow of chyme from the small intestine into the large intestine. So the cecum is the first part of the large intestine. It is a sac-like structure below the ileocecal valve, usually 6 meters long, absorbs water and salt, receives the contents from the ileum. Appendix, it's a small tube that is attached to the cecum. It also has immune roles, act as a bacterial reservoir during diarrheal illness. Colon, it, it's divided into for structure, ascending colon, right side up to the liver, on the right colic or the hepatic flexor. Transverse colon crosses the abdomen, ends near the splenic, on the left colic or the splenic flexor. Descending colon is down the left side. We also have sigmoid colon, is a S-shaped colon leads to the rectum. As for the attachment, the transverse and the sigmoid column is anchored by the mesocolon to the abdominal wall. As for the ascending and the descending colon, it is located at the retroperitoneal area. Rectum is usually around 10 to 15 centimeter, located near the third sacral vertebra. It contains rectal valves that separates gas from feces to prevent accidental gases release. As for anal canal, it is the final segment, 3.8 to 5 centimeter in the perineum, opens to the anus. It has two sphincters, the internal sphincter made of smooth muscle for involuntary action, and the external sphincter is made of skeletal muscle for voluntary action. So for the histology of large intestine, um, the large intestine has no enzyme secreting cells, circular folds or villi, but it has simple columnar epithelium except for the anal canal. It also has goblet cells to secrete mucus for feces movement and protection. We also have enterocytes to absorb water, salts, and minerals produced by the bacteria. As for the unique features of large intestine, we have Taenia coli. It's a three bands of smooth muscles that form the longitudinal muscle layer except for the terminal end. Hostra, its pouches formed by the tonic contraction of the Taenia coli giving the colon its wrinkled appearance. Epiploid appendages, it's a small fat-filled sacs attached to the Taenia coli. Rectum and anal lack tinea coli and hostra, but they have strong muscle layers for defecation. Anal canal mucosa, it is lined by stratified squamous epithelium that connects to the skin around the anus to handle abrasion, and it has two venous plexus, one within the anal column and one near the anus. The anal sinus is the depression between the anal columns that secrete mucus to help with defecation. Okay. As for the pacnatate line, it is the boundary between the hindgut and the external skin. It has sensory fibers. So I will be discussing about mechanical digestion. We have three types of contractions: hostile contraction, slow segmental contraction in the colon that helps mix and move content. Peristalsis is a wave-like rhythmic contraction that moves food through the digestive tract, and mass movement, strong sweeping contraction that propel large amounts of material to the colon. So as for the defecation process, we have few processes here. A rectum filling, stool enters the rectum and stretches the rectal wall. Rectal reflection activation, the stretching sends signals to the brain, which causes the internal anus pincher to relax and increase the urge to go to the bathroom. The voluntary control, we can externally control the anal pincher to decide when to defecate. For muscle contraction, the abdominal muscle and diaphragm contract to push the stool out. The relaxation pinches, the external anal pincher voluntarily relax to allow the stool to pass. As for expulsion, the stool is expelled from the body to complete the defecation. So I'll be discussing about colorectal cancer. It starts in our large intestine, and it develops from certain polyps or growths in the inner lining of our colon, affects people with age 50 and older. And over the past 15 years, the number of people from 20 to 49 with colon cancer have increased by 1.5% each year. And so how it affects is when the colon wall has layers of mucous membrane, tissue and muscle. So in the colon mucosa, the innermost lining of the colon, we have mucus producing cells, and when there is a mutation in these cells, it can form colon polyps, can turn cancerous within 10 years when it's undetected or untreated. And the cancer can spread through tissue, muscles, colon's outer layer, and to the other body parts via lymph nodes and blood vessels. So, some of the symptoms are blood in stool, persistent changes in our bowel habits, abdominal pain. We have polypectomy, the treatments to remove cancerous polyps, partial colectomy, which removes the tumor and some healthy tissues to reconnect the healthy colon. We also have colostomy, which removes the tumor, but the healthy colon section cannot be reconnected. So we can avoid this cancer by avoiding tobacco usage, moderation when we drink alcoholic beverages, and by keeping track of our medical history of our family. So lastly, we'll be seeing prominent figures in the field of gastroenterology. Dr. William Beaumont, he is known as the father of gastroenterology, who pioneered the study of human digestion through observation on a patient with permanent stomach wound. He also authored experiments and observation on gastric juice and physiology of digestion. His key contributions are detailed insights into gastric secretion and the role of stomach digestion, and he laid the groundwork for modern gastrointestinal physiology. Next, we have Dr. Barry Marshall. He is a Nobel Prize winner for groundbreaking research on peptic ulcers. Discovered that Helicobacter pylori bacteria, not stress or diet, but can be caused by many stomach ulcers. And his key contributions are he revolutionized ulcer treatment and diagnosis, changed clinical practice in gastroenterology by focusing on bacterial causes. So finally, that is all from me. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Thank you.